Good morning, Tottenham fans. We are so close now to the Europa League semi-final second leg. We are just one game away from a Europa League final, 2 games away from lifting a trophy. We are so close now. I'm so anxious. I'm excited. I'm nervous. I just want us to get over the line this time. We've been waiting 17 years for this trophy. Well, 41 years for this trophy, but 17 years for a trophy. And it just feels like if this doesn't happen, this is going to be the worst season ever. But if this happens, this is going to be the best season we've had in 41 years. And it's crazy to even think that. Of all the hurt we've gone through this year, maybe there's a light at the end of the tunnel. Maybe there's hope. We're still in a competition in May. When was the last time that happened? A long time ago. Probably about 10 years ago. I don't know. When Poch was in charge, probably. But if I'm not even counting my chickens, when we play against Bodo, I'm still not 100% confident. I said in one of my other videos that we will go there and it's not over. All it would take in that game is an early goal from Bodo, and we may see the same old Spurs that don't turn up when it matters. I don't believe that will happen. I actually believe that Spurs will go on and probably get a draw in this game, maybe even a win, and we will go through to the final. That's what I believe, but this is Tottenham and anything can happen. So what would it change if Spurs won this Europa League? What would change around the club, around the players, around the manager, around the mentality? Even bragging rights. Let's look into that. So Tottenham have had a trophy drought for a very long time. 17 years, 41 years in Europe. So winning that trophy, and it's not just any trophy, this is a top European trophy, but winning this trophy would stop this trophy drought and then give us that, all these people, all these rival fans saying, well, what have you won? Well, what have you won? We can puff our chests out and say, we won the European Cup. What did you win? Yeah? We'd have that, We'd have, the belief that we can win another trophy as well. It would also give us Champions League football, something that we definitely was nowhere near in the league. And gaining Champions League football would also attract better players. It would attract quality players. It would give us the revenue we needed to go further, to push ourselves up in the league. We'd be able to build a bigger squad, which we definitely need. If we're playing 2 games a week and we're playing 2 major games a week, we'll be playing quality 2 times a week. So we definitely need to build a bigger, stronger squad, and getting Champions League football would definitely help that. We'd be entered into the Super Cup, which would be amazing. Trust Spurs to be a team that doesn't have a trophy for 17 years. Go on and win the Europa League and then win the Super Cup, which would be very difficult because it could be like Barcelona or PSG or someone like that, or even Inter. And not Arsenal. They ain't making it. And yeah, so we would be able to we could be the only team to go 17 years without a trophy, then win 2 in the space of a couple of months. That would be insane. Can't see it, the Super Cup, but you never know, do you? You never know. So this could change the mind of Romero too. Romero could think, bloody hell, I've just won a trophy with Spurs. Now we're going to be playing Champions League football. Why would I want to leave? They could even sign some top quality players, or be promised to be signed top quality players, convince Romero to sign a new contract, and he could decide to stay in the end. You don't know. That could change his mind. He's won a trophy, he's won a World Cup, he's won a Europa Cup now, and now he's going to be playing in the Champions League. We won't be nowhere near favourites to win it, but we'll be in it. You know what I'm saying? But that could change Romero's mind. You don't know. We might even have the revenue even to pay him more wages that we probably would have to do if we signed a new contract. This would also build a great experience for the young players like Bergvall, Gray, Odebear, who have just come in this season, Tell, if you want to include him at the moment, that would build so much experience for them to their first season for Spurs, and they win a trophy. This will even give them the belief that they can stay at this club and win more trophies. They won't have that burden on them to say, you want to leave Spurs to win a trophy. There won't be none of that anymore. It'll be, stay at Spurs and you'll win more trophies. That's what we want. That's what we want moving forward. We don't want our young players to think that we'll come here as a stepping stone and then we'll move on to someone else and then win trophies there. We don't want that. So winning this trophy could change that kind of mentality too. Like I said, we'll have more pool for players. We'd have a pool for players. We'd have Champions League football. We'd have the revenue. We've already got the stadium and the training facilities. We've got some top class players in our squad already. We'd have a pool now. So that would change. Because at the moment, if we lost and went out of the Europa League and didn't win it, the pool would be very low. We could finish as low as 17th. So it would make a massive difference. One thing nobody spoke about, and I want to speak about, is Heung-min, because he could lift a trophy as a captain of Tottenham Hotspur in his 10th season and see this as a way of saying goodbye. Like this, he could be saying, because obviously he's not the same Sonny as he's used to be. He's still quality in my eyes. He still gets great numbers, but he could see this as I've won the Europa League. This could be the best way to end it. It could be like a fitting end for Sonny to end his career with Spurs and maybe move to Asia or something and play football there. I don't know, but I thought about it the other day. I thought he could do that. He could go, well, I achieved top European trophy with Spurs. That was my dream. I've had my dream. I may not get in the team that much next season. Maybe it's time to end it. You don't know. That could be going through his brain. It's just an assumption, by the way. It's just my thoughts. It doesn't mean it's going to happen. Also, we've got to think about bragging rights. Let's say that Arsenal didn't win the Champions League this year, which I don't think they will, but let's say they didn't win the Champions League this year. They could still finish third or fourth in a 2-horse race as well, by the way. We'd have that bragging right back as well. But also, they wouldn't have a trophy. If Spurs won a trophy this year, with the horrendous year that we've had, and win a top European trophy, and Arteta's in phase 6 now or something, and he's still not won that trophy. I know he won the FA Cup and everything, but he hasn't won one since, won a trophy since, and then 5 years after that. So the bragging rights with Arsenal would be, how many trophies you won in the last 5 years, So we'd have that back, at least. We'd have something to fight back with. At the moment, we've got nothing to fight back with. So it would be good. It would be nice just to be able to puff your chest out, at least, and say, look what we've won. And it would also mean that would be our third European Cup. A third, Europa League, UEFA Cup, they used to call it. A third. 4 if you count Cup Winners' Cup, but we don't really count that, do we? Okay, I'm going to count it. It's a trophy. So that'll be a 4th European trophy. I think Arsenal have won a Cup Winners' Cup, but they've never won Europa League or UEFA Cup. So that we can say 3-0 to them as well. Another in-your-face moment, which would be brilliant to do, because Spurs fans have had a lot of stick from those rival fans, a lot of stick. What will it mean for Ange Postecoglou? Well, I feel if you've come in as a Spurs manager, your prerogative for the season would have been get Champions League football or win a trophy or both. If he wins this trophy, that will be both. And you cannot sack a manager for achieving objectives that we had at the start of the season. And it's only his second season as well. He's only just started his rebuild. This is a rebuild. If you can win a top European trophy in your second season of a rebuild, you deserve the third season, in my opinion. 100%. It's very debatable if we don't win it this year and finish 17th. I understand that. The league has been horrendous. So Winning this could change the mentality of Spurs fans into wanting to keep Ange Postecoglou. This would also mean it will be something to build on. You know, I know we won the League Cup in 2008 and didn't build on from there and didn't win anything on from there. But this time we need to learn from that mistake and build something for the future. We've already got young players, very high potential young players coming in. They would already have the experience of winning the Europa League. That will give them confidence and puff their chests out maybe as well. So we need to build on this, work around those youngsters, bring them in. People like Mikey Moore, who I think is going to be some player when he develops into the player he's going to be. He's going to be brilliant in my eyes. Bergvold's going to be brilliant. Gray is still developing, but he's got the potential to be brilliant. Odegaard, you know, if we kept Tell's got potential. We need to bring in some experienced, quality, top quality players in with that group of players and build this time. Don't just sit on your laurels and say, well, we've won a trophy now. Let's wait another 17 years for the next one. I don't want that. I want us to build. That would be brilliant. This could also change the whole mentality of the club. This could change the mentality of the players, the manager, the fans, even the board. The board might get on board with this. And start backing Ange and believing that he's the man that can win us even more trophies. Can you imagine if he did win the Europa League, then went on to win the Super Cup, and then the next season won another trophy? That would be 3 trophies for Ange. He'll be coming towards one of our most successful managers ever. So we need to build, we need to change mentality. Maybe the mentality will change. We will now have belief that we can win things. And in my opinion, with what's happened this season, with all those injuries, it's been horrendous. At one point, we had 9 players out at the same time, first team players at the same time. And to still win a trophy after all of that, there'll be so much belief next season. If we can have a lot more luck with injuries, there'll be a belief that we can even do something good in the league too, you know, and maybe go on to win more trophies. Let me know in the comments what you think. Do you think winning the Europa League will change us massively? Or do you think it will just be a flash in the pan, a one-off, and we'll just go back to being the old Spurs again? Or do you think we could build on this and our future could be very, very promising? Thank you for watching, and come on you Spurs!